Hey, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. This is a general reading. Take what works, leave what doesn't. This reading is for all of us, anyone that finds this reading. All right, we're going to start off with some oracle cards. My first oracle deck. Okay, that was explosive. And the one on the floor in many traditions is considered, or in some aspects of this work, is considered the most important one. To the moon and back. So having a dream, having a vision, not any movement on it. Maybe wanting to express yourself. It's just held within. Something's very much held within. It's suspended in time. There's a sense of, I'm going to say, a pendulum in the middle. There's no movement though. It's a pendulum at rest. That could be kind of going back and forth. It's a swing. It's a swing. She's resting on a swing. And there's some heart chakra stuff here. There's stuff that she's not even aware of. So you wouldn't even be aware of certain feelings that you have or certain ways that you feel. But there are ways in which you feel that you're very much aware of. So again, this could be like the pendulum swinging between an awareness of something that's in your heart, a dream, a vision, and then subconscious desires as well, just kind of there affecting you, affecting your decisions, but not necessarily being a conscious part of how you feel. So to the moon and back. So there's some desire here, unspoken. No action has been taken towards it. It's mostly just a desire. All right, and what else have we got here? Okay, we've got oh sunny. Okay. We are paused on desire is what it looks like. Oh, sunny day. This is a vision that only you can see. It always talks to me about a future. And then again, we have this halfway in, halfway out. She's half bride, half widow. So we're between two places in a place of stasis. Here we have the bride again here in this white wing, this desire for communication. And again, we have stasis, a still moment here where we're just seeing the vision. We have an idea for the future, but it's only our vision. I love these little ladybugs here. The ladybugs are really like very much here. They are here. They can be little messengers from loved ones who've passed on. They have to me, the ladybug, talks about almost a ghost, but I don't mean that in a creepy way, but like a guide or an ancestor that's here, that's all over this idea, this vision. And there's a sense of, again, with the pendulum swinging, there's a sense of there's a place over here that's not great and a place over here that is great, and you being halfway between the two here. Oh yes, yeah, I'm glad we get that one. We also get stranded, also talking about this stasis and this stillness and being between two worlds and wanting to move forward, having a vision, having something in your heart that you desire. I would say like even a sacred vision, like this is not a frivolous want, and then we have stranded here. So this also talks to the static stasis, that this frozen in time stasis. I feel like that we've got this love, this desire, this vision for the future. Maybe that was all. This could have interrupted that, or this could be like, this is what's happened that's caused you to stay in, like, frozen in motion. So that's what I'm seeing with the pendulum swinging, is this moment that's frozen. Frozen in time. And then we have this stranded. So This talks about like being really gung-ho about a project, really wanting to move forward, but something kind of going awry and kind of getting stuck someplace. So help is on the way. He can't see that from here. What is going to happen when the help is on the way is Coast Guard can't help with a boat in a tree. Looks like there was maybe maybe a flooded energy, maybe flooded emotions, or just like right, it reminds me of Southern California, where during this like really wet period in the state's history, a lot of development happened. But now that we're going back to like, they call it drought, but my understanding is historically, oh, look at my necklace here. My understanding is historically it's actually been a very dry area. We just happened upon it when it was very like fertile and wet and looked like it could sustain a lot of life. But now we're finding like, oh, actually this is not as sustainable as we thought, because it was just a moment in time. So this is what could have also happened, just this moment in time where there was like a lot of time, a lot of energy or something, but we have this sort of stranded idea. And it's also giving me the vibes of something being frozen in time, something that would be moving like a swing the nature of it is to move, but it's frozen in time. And so we have this sort of stuck high and dry, stranded. He can get out of the situation, but you might incur some losses in that. Yeah, something just got frozen in time. I'm seeing like Aang, the last Airbender, frozen in this iceberg. So, do we get out of it? I don't know, but something got paused. It's like giving Hanged Man energy of like stuck here, take some lessons, right? Because this guy like maybe took like a couple sailing lessons and then was like, oh yeah, I'm good, I'm gonna sail this whole boat by myself. So this card also comes in with like a lot of bravado, having gotten somebody in a difficult situation. Okay, weaving flowers. So this is our next one, I think. This has something very, you're protected in this space though. Like the stranded by itself has this vulnerability, but with Oh Sunny Day, there's a sense of protection with that, or a sense of not. You may be stuck, but it's not. There's a sense in which, yeah, there's protection. I'm hearing under my umbrella is what I'm hearing, which always has an idea of protection from the sun, from the rain. And you may be protecting yourself while you keep your eye on some kind of prize. So weaving flowers, this is sort of creating reality from intuition. So you don't necessarily know what you're weaving together. You can't see where this is all going, but you're sort of receiving things as they come in their own timing and weaving them together. You're making something, you're creating a reality, but it's coming out of intuition, right? She's got her hair braided. There's a lot of weaving in here. We've got lace woven all together. And we've got these strings coming in, and it's like what you do. This is giving me spider vibes and just, creating reality by intuition alone and not being able to see. Not seeing what you're creating, but trusting that you are creating. You are a creator. We have all this evidence that you're a creator. We have your hair, we have your lace shawl. We can see that you are a creator, you have created. There's something about here too about knowing who you are. And having that be a foundation for this. Trusting that you know who you are. You know what you're capable of. You know what you've done in the past. And so you can do this with your eyes closed. Maybe not that level of arrogance, but there is something, and maybe you don't feel confident about it, but you should be. There's a lot of evidence for you to feel confident in what you're creating. Even though you feel stranded, you can absolutely, you're not going to be here forever. And this is saying that you are creating maybe part of this vision, this thing that you desire, you are creating it. And there may be a pause to the creation, but you're not going to be here forever, right? This is not a sustainable place. Either help's going to come, or you're going to, you know, cut yourself loose from this past project and just move on. So you may be feeling a little stuck here, but there's just a lot coming in. And I'm seeing that too with the ladybugs. There's a lot coming in towards you. Like, these ladybugs almost remind me of, like, you know, the crabs in Pirates of the Caribbean in Davy Jones' locker. And yeah, they're coming to, like, help. They're here. This is like just the beginning of some sort of, like, maybe spiritual help or intuitive help to help you get sort of unstuck and out of this situation. So Elixir of Life, this is possibly one of my favorite cards. It always seems like such a random card that's outside of the rest of the reading, because to me it talks about, like, enjoying being in a body and taking pleasure in that, you know, no matter what size or shape. We all have these we all get the same messages. So sometimes, you know, people will be like, well, you shouldn't be insecure, look at you. And it's like, everybody here has gotten the same message, okay? No matter what size or shape or height or width we are, we've all gotten the same sort of messages. And all of these messages touch on our essential lovability, our idea of lovability as a person, and how we look and whether that makes us lovable or not. So some people put in, yeah, there are just a lot of different ways to approach that problem. And so when people say, like, oh, you know, you shouldn't be insecure, what they're really saying is, I should be insecure. I deserve this messaging. I deserve to feel insecure in this body. You don't, you shouldn't, you know, meet most of the norms, but all of us have these issues. Anyway, I work as a personal stylist as my day job, and body issues are really a core part of what the work that I do, and talking about how we feel good in our bodies. And I think that clothing is a really good way to remind you how precious your body is, how beautiful it is to be in a body, and to treat your body really well, like, and not be hard on it. The core of this card is loving your body, loving being in a body. You can't be alive, right? We have all these little, like, ghost ladybugs here. They're not in bodies, but you are, and it's a very special moment. It's a very special thing. And so loving that vehicle that you have, or you can think of it as a temple, a vehicle, whatever, but loving it and caring for it is the foundation for anything else that we do with our body. So Elixir of Life, love and care for your body. Very gentle care for your body. Yeah, that's my body lecture. Well, that's like a third of my body lecture. It came up a lot this week. A lot of people in varying stages of self-love and self-loathing. All right, so another oracle deck. We're gonna just have these decks laid out, and we're just gonna go through them. Although these oracle decks really want to talk. They're happy to talk. Okay, here's the one that popped out. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So this talks to me about conversations that you might be having, that where you are the vehicle, because you're in a body. You get to be a vehicle here that people can see and understand of divine love and beautiful, loving messages, helpful messages, channeling and uplifting humanity. So you're going to do both. So Pleiades is all about conversations that are positive and leave everyone feeling good about themselves. So there could be a conversation here, but here we see no conversation, but this Pleiades channeling and uplifting humanity, that's all about talking. It's all about talking. All right, how do you want to do this? Ooh, we got that one again. Haha, yes, okay, the keepers of the earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. And I just want to again highlight the ladybugs that we've already seen here coming in here. So There might be a very scary conversation. You might be in the middle of something that you don't understand, but things are coming together. They don't look like they're coming together, but they are. So there might be a scary conversation coming up, or something a little bit terrifying. And this could be about sort of part of your mission here. It could be a moment, but it could also be like a whole a grander idea, a larger idea about why you're here on Earth and what you have to bring. And so, keepers of the Earth, you're not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So, you know, these ladybugs, to me, they represent ghosts, or like ancestors, ancient ancestors that stand beside us. I love that this confirmation of this message and this idea here of, you know, all of these animals, these spirit guides. And I think like human, right? We've got our ancient ancestor right up here, our human guides helping us. And right, with the weaving flowers, we have all of these unseen help. Like where is this coming from? What is this coming from? And one thing, I don't want you to be freaked out about it. That's the thing. Like it could be just very normal. Like, this is my schedule for my day. You know what? Let's flip that. I think it'll just be easier. And then it's not like a big like, oh my gosh, I need to flip the order of my errands today. It's not like that. It's just like you're just like, I flip them. And it turns out to be an important flip. But we don't know until afterwards. We don't know until we're in it. We're like, wow, I never would have had this conversation if this hadn't happened and that hadn't happened. You know, I would have not been at this place at this time. But you don't have to calculate it. That's the message I'm getting here. You don't have to calculate anything. You don't have to figure out, like, what does this mysterious thing mean? That's not how this intuition is working here. It's very much just carry on with your life and understand that whatever you're working on, whatever difficulty you have, wherever you're stuck or trapped or whatever's not moving forward and hasn't for some time, that is getting worked out in some other way that you don't have to calculate it out. You don't have to figure it out. It's just but you do have to trust, and receive. You have to be open. You have to be open to changes, open to receive, open to help, open to receiving information, you have to have an openness. And even though you've had like, oh, that was the message. Okay, coming in here, I was like, I don't know if this is for us or not. But it was about misunderstandings. But those misunderstandings are all based on previous experiences, some of them very negative. And so it can be a lot of work to come into each experience fresh and new. But I think that's part of the message I'm getting here, is coming into each experience fresh and new without understanding that every person you meet is an individual. And also all of those individuals, you know, unless you've known them for a really long time, like come into you in different states of mind with different experiences that have just happened to them or different histories. And history can be like a week that was one hell of a week for them, and now they're coming to you as a very different person than they were before that. It can be a year, it can be a couple of years, it can be 20 years, whatever. People can come to you in different ways. So there's a sense with this, there's a sense here, maybe it's a sunny day and the weaving of flowers, of allowing newness. Okay, and then these three all seem like they're friends to me. Well, they're all from the Moonology deck. So we have New Moon in Taurus, prosperity lies ahead. You're very close to achieving your goal, gibbous moon. So this can be like a little bit of adjustments being required, but sort of some sort of barrier being released. I always see this as like sort of the crowning of a birth, or, you know, the opening of a door, the opening of a jail cell. So you're close. The prosperity is very close. And you and your loved ones are safe. So whatever fears we've had here, and oh yeah, that one goes with that one. So we're going to do the gibbous moon and prosperity lies ahead. You're very close to achieving your goal. So whatever it is you want to accomplish on the physical plane that seems like it's paused, it's stopped, you're stuck, you don't know how to move forward, it's actually closer than you think. And it's good. But this new moon, prosperity lies ahead. So it is ahead. It's not here yet. It is close though. That's what this is saying. These two together are saying, you don't know, you can't see what's all coming together here, but it is close. It is closer than you think. And you don't need to push. This is you're close to achieving your goal. I wish it was more like you're close to allowing your goal. You're close to receiving your goal. You're close to opening up to receive the prosperity or the physical achievement or whatever it is. It's very close. And I'm almost seeing this as like the view from inside someone's like coin purse, like in the view inside, and here comes a coin. So we're opening up and we're going to watch this coin. But right now, the coin purse is still closed. We don't know when we're going to receive the coin or the whatever gift we want to receive here, or what, maybe we don't even know we want it, but whatever gift, the purse is closed and then it opens and here comes the coin. There's some interesting double entendres in that little paragraph there, but okay. And then we have the initiation. So, okay. We have the initiation. So a rite of passage, this can be a birthday, an anniversary, something like that. It can also be, it's a little scary on this side, right? That's what we're seeing here. It's a little scary on this side, and there might be a sense of feeling stuck. You can't get to the other side. You can see it, so it's like the purse is open and you can see, but you don't know what's on the other side. Well, we're going the other direction in that metaphor. The metaphor breaks down. We're not going to stick with it, but you're going through something, and that's what I saw here too. Is like something that's closed opens, and this is like it's open, and you can see a little bit of what you want, but the way there, the path there, is actually a little bit scary, and might have some anxiety with it. So normally with anxiety, we want to take care of ourselves. We want to, calm our nervous system, whatever. But I recently had an experience with someone where I was like, I think that anxiety is actually like helpful to you. I think instead of having anxiety about driving, I think you probably need to be a better driver, because that was terrifying. So in some ways, anxiety can be that too. Like there might actually be some. This is a snake. It's not a snake, and no amount of like we can calm ourselves down to be able to pass the snake, but it's still very real dangers. So there might be some actual not real dangers. I don't want to freak you out, but just like, well, this world has some stuff that can happen to us, right? So, but this is a rite of passage, crossing a threshold. So there is here, we can see it up ahead, this crossing of the threshold. The prosperity lies ahead. We're on this path, we're headed there. We feel maybe a little stuck, maybe we are a little stuck, but the prosperity lies ahead. We can see it, and we're actually really close. So we're not way over here. We're like right here. If we need a map, we're right here. Okay, and then you and your loved ones are safe. So I really love this. The new moon is always heading into the unknown. And again, this talks about anxieties and fears for ourselves, for our loved ones. And this is saying, like, I think this is a reassurance that you can get there. You can get through this. This is not going to be a big, massive, well, it has the potential, right? We have this other scary thing right here. It has the potential. But this is giving you some reassurance and some confidence. You don't need to be defensive and you don't need to freak out, but you might need to take care of things, right? Yeah. Like you don't need to be, you don't need to be defensive or, about your driving, and you don't need to freak out while you're driving. In fact, that's actually not helping. What you need to do is like revisit maybe take some defensive driving classes and just increase your skill here. Or, there's other ways we can approach anxiety, maybe a little practically, but also like we still have to take steps, right? We can't just teleport through this. So there's steps to take, but there is also a reassurance that you are safe. All right, and then one more shuffle here with I don't do these reading, We're down to once a week with these readings, but it's a long once a week. I feel like. What's that issue here? No, the underlying Five of Coins having this very strong stranded vibe. Oof, Five of Coins is feeling left out, being ghosted, seeing that there is abundance, seeing that other people have what you want. It can be lack mentality. It can be, you have someone with you. That's always the thing with the Five of Coins. I've rarely seen a Five of Coins without it involving two people. So, and that's where the lack mentality comes in, where you want to be inside the circle. You want to be part of this inner circle, part of this wealth, but you see something nearby, but you're not part of it. What you're also not part of is what you already have, because your mind is focused on what you don't have versus what you do have. But there can also be like what I was talking about with the driving, like it can be a mentality, but it can also be a reality. So I feel like it's both, like dealing with some sort of anxiety or some sort of fear of this transition, right? We've got the initiation, the Five of Coins, and the stranded. So real fears dealt with appropriately, and that can be both physical action and internal. All right, past, present, inner landscape. What's an issue? Environment, to-do list, possible outcome. All right. That surprised me. All right, in the recent, because just in someone's personal reading, it relates to something else that's not for us right now. Okay, in your recent past, you have High Priestess. So again, this highly intuitive, right? The High Priestess, we see, we don't see. She sits right in the middle of that. She's a little bit related to the moon, the things we can see, the things we cannot see. Not having the full story to something, having to really trust your intuition because you don't know where something's going. She's got the book of what happens here, and it's closed and it's locked. So she'll be sharing with you what she wants to share when she wants to share it. So again, there's a little bit of a sense of being led down a path and maybe not 100% sure of the outcome. But that's important because sort of the decisions you make along the way, right? We're co-creators with the universe. We're not the universe's master, how some people feel that way, but that's not something I see. We're not we can't just go and dictate to life all of the terms and everything that we want when we want it. And then there's the other aspect where we're also neither a life's slave, where we just do only what life tells us to do, and there's a co-creation here. So part of that co-creation is working with your desires, what you want. You get to have some say. And so the High Priestess talks about that. There's like a mysterious unfolding, but also there are decisions you get to make about, certain things in your life. So in a way, I see the High Priestess saying like, well, I know some things, but, what do you know? You tell me something first. And then, I'll tell you maybe yes or no, or maybe, or whatever. But why don't you say what you want? You ask for what you want. You say these things, and I'll see what happens here. So there's something about your action being very important here. The High Priestess to me is also the tarot deck itself. So you may have had a tarot reading or something before that did give you some amount of information. And I'm hearing like, go back and listen to it again, or, if you took notes, if it's your personal tarot reading and you took some notes on it, go read those. There's a review. There is something back there for you that maybe you didn't catch. Okay, and then current situation, King of Coins. So So King of Coins can come in as two ways here in this position. We can talk about consulting with someone who's much further along the path that you want to go on than you are. So, or asking for help, asking for assistance. Someone who's practically minded, plays a long game. This is not a hot-headed person. This is a very steady person. Oh, maybe they've had their moments though. Some people can see this as a sugar daddy, or just someone who's been successful. They've got the money to give. The other way this can read is that you need to realize that you have the potential for this, right? Especially with this Taurus card, this new moon in Taurus, prosperity lies ahead. So this could be someone you're meeting that has the information you need, not necessarily the coin. They could be a sugar daddy of information, or a sugar daddy of, or sugar mama of advice, or ideas of investments where you need to invest your time and energy. So this is someone who has the capacity to be very generous based on their experience, and that might be generous in a couple different ways. But anyway, we have this prosperity lies ahead, and this King of Coins. So the way, if you are the King of Coins, this is to know that you can be very successful, and that that you might be making some long-term investments, or even reaping long-term investments, that's possible to do right now, that you have what it takes, you have what you need physically. This can also be like, remember to focus on, physical things, monetary things, being very focused, playing a long game, being judicious. I want to say like cutting things out. There's a precision here too. Time is on your side. But there's a successful vibe here. And there's like taking what you've already invested in. It's like building on a prior investment. So like work that you've previously invested in, or are investing in, or actively investing in, continuing to invest in that work, reaping rewards for what you have invested in. What's really interesting is this Five of Coins with this King of Coins here. And there's a lot of coins. So this could be very work related, or just at least related to stuff going on in the physical, not necessarily your heart, your soul, your mind, but very physical things. So there could be someone, a benefactor here, and maybe you felt left out or something like that. But there's a resource. That's what I'm seeing the King of Coins as. It could be a resource, a person, or something like that. So inner landscape, hopes, fears, subconscious issue, possibly even the bird you don't even know you want. Nine of Coins, this is success, independent success. This is having gone hunting and having found, having returned with rewards. This is having done work. Nine of Coins is having done work. I mean, maybe, and receiving rewards for your work. Not necessarily like having things gifted to you, or receiving, winning the lottery, or receiving an inheritance. This would be pointing at perhaps something that you want is to have material success based on work that you do. Right? The Eight of Coins is like the work card, doing work, and the Nine of Coins is wanting the rewards for that work, wanting success by your own hand, or even the Nine of Coins does have like a little bit of managerial vibe to it too. I mean, because like she's got the hawk here that does, or maybe it's a falcon, I can't tell, but that does go out looking for her. It's in a way her underling. So maybe that's part of what you want too. But it's financial security. Especially, well, obviously, if we're in this energy, obviously this is our desired outcome. Getting paid for your labor. This King of Coins could be a boss energy too, like for sure. Like wanting to talk to your boss, or yeah. Maybe even wanting to be the boss now that we're looking at this Nine of Coins. What's at issue? King of Swords, unfair decisions, lies, cutting, improper use of the mind, improper use of words, or a misunderstanding. Well, that's where I started. Like, because the truth isn't clear here. This is someone who doesn't have the truth, doesn't know the truth, or has been lying, or has been ignorant of the truth. Maybe King of Swords reverse can be pretty awful, because that's like a boss or someone who's in charge that's kind of not a good person. That's not trying to be, maybe they are, but they don't have a really good handle of the truth. This is like a page got put in a king position. And it's a child king, that someone who's in charge of things, but it doesn't have the right temperament for it, doesn't have the experience for it, doesn't have any sort of, they're not very wise. Maybe they're not even very smart. They're not smart enough for this position. And that's not to say our value is based on our intelligence, but this, whoever's in this position of power either isn't very smart, not very wise, or they're a liar. It's bad. They're like a lawyer that's they're like a bad lawyer that needs to be disbarred. Like, this person's not right. I want to say they're not right in the head, and I mean that like they're just not, they don't think properly. They don't have things in the proper order. So somebody here, and this person could be making you feel impoverished. Someone here is injudicious and unfair and possibly dishonest, and they have a position of power. It's like a little king throwing a little tantrum, or lying all the time, or whatever, and thinking that they're never going to get caught, thinking that they're, yeah, well, I'm the king and no one can question me. And it's like, well, actually, we do have methods for questioning you. Okay. And then more swords. So another sword here, 4 of Swords, in your environment. It's like rest time, or there's a time out. This King of Swords, could also be someone who just doesn't see the truth, or they should be good at communicating or thinking things through, but they're not. And maybe they just don't see something very clearly. But the problem is, it's okay to not see things clearly, but it's a problem when a king doesn't see something clearly, or when a boss doesn't see something clearly, or when a boss doesn't have all the information, is like making decisions without all of the information. It's like someone in a position of power, or in a position to make decisions, even if this is a relationship, someone's either lying or has been lying, or just doesn't have all the information, and they're making decisions. They're taking action based on a misuse of intellect, which would, I guess, be a misunderstanding. Or something like that. Anyway, 4 of Swords in the environment. There's been a timeout. We're taking a break. Timeout, recalibration though. The hope in 4 of Swords is that it's just a nap. Nobody's dead. Nothing's over. It's just a nap. There's just like a break in the action here. So again, talking with this stranded, this other person isn't, they still have more to say. Like, not everything's out on the table. But there's been some sort of pause. And it's interesting because he looks like he's taking a nap inside the church. And then you're in the church like, hello, wake up. What is going on here? So maybe someone went on vacation. Maybe this boss is on vacation. Maybe something's on a time out. Nothing's moving. It has a little bit of this stranded energy, as far as like, there's just no movement. There's more to say. There's more to do. There's more that needs to happen. But someone's taken a nap. And there's nothing happening right now, but there's more that will be happening, but it's on a break. So if it's a relationship, you haven't spoken to this person, or you guys have both decided to take a break or something like that. If it's work, like whoever needs to make a decision, like this could be a king not making a decision, is on vacation or something like that. There's a break or a nap needed here, or is happening here, and it's out of your control. That part is completely out of your control. The timing is paused, right? Well, we were getting that at the beginning here. Your to-do list, the star card. So as a to-do list, this is to be the blessing. Be generous. Be in the flow of things. Be kind. Be magnanimous. Be the star. And maybe even taking a position as a star. Maybe even there's hope. You're either being the hope, you're receiving the hope, you're standing in hope. You're not outside of hope. Wow, that's like the same message. It could be interpreted pretty much the same as we've had week for week. In this position, we've had all these different cards, the Sun card, the 10 of Pentacles card, the 10 of Cups card. We've had all of these great cards here in this position, and this week is no different. You be great. Whatever this is going on here, you need to have hope, you need to be hope, you need to give hope, you need to stand in the light, the spotlight. This could be, standing in the spotlight, but you are in the flow of things. Yeah, it's some for now, some for later, investing. There is a lot of hope in the future. There's a vulnerability in this hope. But the star card is, invest here now. There's something for here now, and there's something for later. Oh, it's like the now and laters, except for those were disgusting. Well, they weren't disgusting as a kid. There's just like sugar bricks that you just spend a lot of time and pull out your fillings and stuff like that with. But now and later is like, it's just, there's not an expiration on this blessing. There's a generosity that you're bringing, and there's more where that came from. So you are to be hopeful, to be a blessing, to give others hope. I don't know. It might feel a little bit like you're pouring from an empty cup though, but you're not. Save some for you, right? Save something for you. You can give, you can be generous. There's something here where you can be generous, even though you might be in this energy. And it might just be an emotional generosity, but again, it feels like you're pouring from an empty cup, which is never great. But if this is on pause, this is like continue to have hope. The star card is all about hope. There's a little twinkling in the sky, and there are reasons to have hope. Oh, finding reasons to have hope. I think we already discussed that. Finding reasons to have hope. Yeah, I don't know. We discussed that at some point. Oh, wow. Sometimes I should just really read ahead here. This is 3 of Wands. This is continuing to have hope. Watch your ships come in. Continue to have hope, because in the future, you're going to want to continue having hope, right? Hope for now, hope for the future. Yeah, now and later. 3 of Wands, this one has you actually watching your ships come in. I like that idea too, a ship. It almost seems very literal today, watching a ship come in. Ferry boat, a sailboat. Oh, this is interesting. Continuing to have hope in this hopeless situation. This ship. Either you're abandoning this ship, but there will be another one. You will sail again. This is not the last trip you've ever made. You will sail again. Yeah, so this hope, the star next to the 3 of Wands, those are basically the same card, Major Arcana and Minor Arcana, having hope for the future. There's reasons to have hope. Even though this is where you are, you feel high and dry and stranded, there are a lot of reasons to have hope. And maybe they're not maybe you don't have reasons to have hope, but you might have invisible reasons to have hope, okay? You have this like team of ancestors, this like the crabs on Pirates of the Caribbean. I forget which one that is, but Davy Jones' Locker, like the crabs coming. You have this ancestral help, okay? So that's, if you don't see reasons to have hope, have faith. Faith is your reason to have hope. And it's not faith if you can see it, if it's obvious. Like, I don't have faith that there's a lamp right there because I can see it, I can touch it. It doesn't require any faith, right? So faith definitely is about things that aren't certain, but allowing a hope for that, even if it's not certain and obvious and you can't actually touch it. All right, one more. Little oracle card to finish this off. I mean, there's really not much to say about Three of Wands other than it's continue being hopeful. Be hopeful now and be hopeful in the future. All right. In the tradition of my channel, I will take the ones on the floor. Although this one came. All right. We got some messages. Brightness of your future. Listen to your discontent, your yearning. And I would also say maybe a little bit sometimes your anxiety can be reasonable sometimes. It can actually have a point sometimes. Just take the point and leave some of the emotions behind. But anyway, listen to your discontent, your yearning. You want something true. You should not just be quiet and get back to your day job or how things have been as if you're making a drama out of nothing. You're meant to be moved by these feelings. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I was talking about with even anxieties and these fears. They're meant to help guide you, like, because sometimes they're unreasonable, but sometimes they're not unreasonable. Sometimes it's very reasonable to have some, like, I don't like it here, like this, like, I don't like it here. Why, if you didn't have any fear or anxiety, you might not keep going, right? So you're meant to be moved by these feelings. And right, check with your therapist if that's the right path for you though. To become more alive. Trust in the brightness of what is meant to be. Again, trust in the, look, she's like, oh, I can see, here's the sun. Trust in the brightness of what is meant to be. And this is exactly what these two cards are telling us too. The star is actually a very distant sun. So trusting in that brightness, that as it comes closer, it will become brighter. Oh my gosh, I could not have loved this card more in this after this reading. An unpredictable grace. It's not a lack of courage that makes you question the path. Ooh, this path. Oh, this card's really coming in handy at the end here. Before you, sometimes it is uncertainty. There's no need to doubt, just steps to take one after the other. And as you do this, all can then unfold as it must. With the blessing of my powerful and unpredictable grace. So things you can't see coming, powerful grace. One step in front of the other through this sort of scary stuck spot. And then fine, last one. Sister of Shambhala. Ooh, leaps of faith in the wintertime. Spring is coming. Put your faith in the light. Yeah, again. And believe that good things can happen and will happen. We do not need to deny darkness, right? We're not denying. We're not pretending that everything's hunky-dory here. We're not pretending that this is the beach and let's just stay here because this looks great. This is fine. We're not in denial that where you might be right now actually could be a little bit scary. We do not need to deny darkness, but nor do we need to place our minds there. There are lighter dwelling places into which our minds can settle. Trust in the spring that follows winter. So yeah, trust in the spring that follows winter. Continuing to trust in the future, even though you're not there yet. You're still in some sort of place, and you may feel like this place is going to go on forever. But taking one step in front of the other, your fear, it's not going to drive you, but it's going to be there in the passenger seat as you move forward. It's going to be with you. And it's actually not, it can be a friend to you too, right? It can be a friend to you to let you know about very, very real dangers. But there has to be, like, right, we were talking about this, like, you might be poor, but you might actually be it might be both an inside job and an outside situation. It can be both, okay? So keep going. You and your loved ones are safe. Reassurance. You are very close to achieving your goal, and you are going to get there. But remain hopeful. Remain hopeful as you continue on through what seems to be a little bit of a scary, maybe even stuck situation. All right, there we go. I'll talk to you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining me here or watching this and being with me on this little tarot journey. Thank you.